Hi, class. My name is welcome everyone. My name is Jake Drew, and you can call me Jake. This is my introduction video to the class of IST 609. I am a professor in the Department of Information Sciences at Cal State San Bernardino. I'll be your IST 609 instructor with Dr. Sam Sudakar. At Cal State, I've taught a variety of undergraduate and graduate courses in management information systems, information networking, cybersecurity, marketing principles, and marketing research. In this information system and technology class, we're going to learn about IT strategies. IST 609 is one of my favorite courses as it opens the eyes of students in many ways. Hopefully, it will open your eyes as well in the end. Let me discuss a little bit of philosophy of teaching, my philosophy of teaching and learning. In my previous life, many years ago, I was an IT professional. With luck or effort, I was able to create a small brand name for myself many years ago as Jake the Computer Guy, and also known as the IT solution provider with many local businesses and among people I know. In my early 40s, there was a couple of years early in my 40s, I have my inner drive to become to be a teacher kept coming to my mind, because for some reason I just wanted to do teaching in my life, and I eventually called for action. And I used that as an excuse to give up being an IT professional and became a professor at Cal State. Back in my mind, though, I thought it was cool. From now on, I will be able to teach students to do what I can do, a way I can give back to society. Sounds sounds very noble. But the reality was, as I was getting into my 40s, I think, I did not want to be a computer person or networking person for life, because in that life sounds like IT does not necessarily a sexy job or a good environment for people who are aging up, and then because my last IT job was a network manager, we had to climb up into the attics to trace a cable that was chewed by mice, or going under the desks to check connection to the internet for users all the time, and that for those reasons, I thought to myself, maybe I want to probably go teach, but I want to teach IT because that's what I can do best, and that I can help other people to do what I can do. But interestingly, or sounds strange, it might be, my PhD is not from IT. I have a PhD in education. One thing I've learned as an educator over the years is that learning does not necessarily start with even good teaching. The learner, students, or you have to be a major part of a learning contract. A simple, maybe more scientific proof I had was that I taught for many years, and some students would say, Jake is a great guy. I learned a lot from him. But a few others would say that I didn't learn much from him. And at the beginning of my tenure at Cal State, I took it as really serious. I still take it serious, but I was actually painfully taking it seriously, and I tried very hard to find answers why people did not like my teaching. I thought I did my best, and I thought I did a good job. One example that frustrated me was, no matter how thorough you became in explaining things, there are still people who will think it's not thorough enough. And an example was during my first year of teaching at Cal State. A few students gave me suggestions on my teaching. They said that I was a good teacher and taught them things very relevant and to life and their career. But not so clear in what I want wanted in certain assignments. So I made a change in the second year. I started to write very excessive instructions on assignments. And at one point, I was interested that for a one-page report I want from students, I would write a full 1 page of instructions, sort of really excessively written. And even that, students still have questions for me that, well, can you give me more details? Give us more details of what you want. Then I gave a thought. Do I want to teach details, or do I want to teach people to think differently? That's the difference that in my philosophy. The reality would be not what I wanted. I don't want actually anything from you rather than your best. But it's not what I wanted. It's what you wanted. The students wanted. What you or the students or you want. However, I do have my expectations. For example, in reading a report, a written report. For example, I want you to use data. Because when you go to work, when you become a manager, you want to propose any project or anything, your supervisor will always ask you for data to prove that you need to do something or something is going to be a good thing for them. So you need to use data. And you use your logic structures in writing and sound arguments. If you don't have those, your proposals will be turned down. And also, you want to present your data and arguments in a more professional manner that is looking good. And the way I put it is, okay, just think about this scenario. If you're the VP of a big company and you have many regional managers reporting to you, and each year they submit a yearly report, you put aside, you side by side all the reports. Once you read it, all of them, you should have idea of who is a better manager or who will give you a better report in terms of how they use data for their arguments, how they logically link the data to their statements, and then how they present the data to you. So that's what I want. I want you, and once you read all of that, you should be able to figure out which one is the best. I want you to be the best. The reason is, if you're the best, you're going to have a bigger yearly bonus at the end in the business world, and you're going to be promoted faster than other people. That's what I want from you. I mean, hopefully you realize that. And also, I want you to think about this question. How can I get out of the IST 609 class the best how can you get the best out of this class, given the structures of the course we have given, outlined in Module 1? We just think about that in my syllabus. Sam and I are here to help you to achieve that goal. That's, you think about that. That said, if you have any questions, email, text, or call me or us. And here's my personal cell phone number. Remember that, okay? 909-583-5631. Again, 909-583-5631. However, I go to meetings a lot during the day. Sam probably do the same. He will let you know his best time. But my best time, the best time to call me will be between 4 and 8 p.m. Standard Pacific time. If you text me, I'll try to call you back as soon as I can. And email me once I get to it, I'll give you an answer. So with that, that's the introduction of myself to you. Thank you for the opportunity to meet all of you, and good luck with the class. And hopefully, I gave you an assignment during the first module, first week. You're going to do an introduction of yourself. So say something about yourself. If it's possible, make a video, attach the video like what I just did to the class. I want you to have a good time in this class. And then my hobby, I don't have a lot of hobby. I used to have computers as my hobby before I became a computer professional. And after that, I became a professional. After I started to work in the professional world with computers, I gave up that hobby. Now I think drinking tea is my hobby, and hopefully I can meet you on a cup of tea virtually as often as we can. Well, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to meet you online, and we'll have a good time. Thank you very much.